Hey, y'all, come look at this.
I've had this Neca Godzilla from King of the Monsters for a few years now, and I got this comment about a possible upgrade from Hiya Toys. I looked into it and I immediately knew that this would be worth checking out. This video is kind of a review. It's also mostly a comparison between the two figures. I'm gonna go over different aspects, so there will be timestamps in the description. So, taking it out of the packaging, it's pretty crunchy, but I can already tell this figure is way better than my current one. It looks better, it feels like it works better, but that's just from first impressions. Putting it next to the Neca Godzilla, we can already see a major height difference between them. Obviously, in the case of a kaiju figure, bigger is better. So let's take a look at both figures somewhat in depth. So the Hiya Toys has a lot of great sculpt work here, just like the Neca one. That's kind of just natural with Godzilla figures. Very good work all around the tail. The head is done extremely well. It just looks more mean, and that's something you'd want out of a Godzilla. The eyes, despite being tiny, they managed to paint it super well, super realistic, and all around a very good looking figure. Now looking at the Neca, sculpt work is also good along with the paint. It's fairly the same in terms of looks, except for the dorsal plates. They look kind of odd on this one when comparing them directly. The Hiya kind of just looks like more of a natural part of his body. And also taking a look at the eyes, this one's kind of Now, don't get me wrong, this figure is great looking. I feel like it looks better as a statue almost, but in terms of someone like me who wants function and looks for something like stop motions, this is definitely the lower end of the comparison. Speaking of function, big reason why I was really into the idea of buying this figure as a replacement was because of the neck movement that the Hiya Toys has. Now that sounds like a pretty simple thing, but in every video I've done with the Neca, it's only been able to open and close its mouth. But now this is something I really won't have trouble with. When making stop motions with a Godzilla figure, if I wanted the Neca to look up, well, I mean, you saw the intro. Now, it doesn't look straight up compared to something like the Monster Arts, but to me, this is pretty good comparing it to what it's replacing. And ironically enough, the only downside to his neck movement is that it doesn't look down, but that's okay for me. Another notable difference in the movement is its legs. The Hiya Toys has more of a double jointed knee system, while the Neca only has a single one. The Neca tries to go for a seamless look at the legs, which is a positive when looking at it, but when moving it, it turns into a negative. The Hiya kind of just lets the gappage be, and in turn you get better movement out of the legs, and also in my opinion, it kind of just looks better when posing. Now I'll just run this comparison footage under this, but I'm going to talk about price. The Neca I got for around $25 at retail a while ago, and the Hiya Toys is right now going for $50 online at base price, so at about basically double the price, you get a way better deal with the Hiya in my opinion. Now I don't have the Monster Arts figure, but I feel like the Hiya is also a better deal than that too, considering those run for like $100 to $200 online. And especially if you want the Monsterverse Godzilla, I'd say that this is the way to go. Unless you really do want that maximum movement, then I guess the Monster Arts kind of beats it out, but it's all based on preference. Like I said, I did want to compare it to one other figure, but first I want to put the Neca next to it. It's the Neca King Kong I used in my Godzilla vs. King Kong stop motion, and I am happy with this King Kong. I probably won't get another one despite it not being the Monsterverse King Kong. But either way, people were commenting that Godzilla is shorter than Kong in the video, and yeah, I agree that they should scale better, but like, that's not my fault. But now with the Hiya, they can scale way better together. Though he's still not taller, they do look great together at these heights, and just looking at it, it is way better than the Neca to Neca. But yeah, overall, I'd say this new Hiya Toys Godzilla is way better, and I'm happy with the purchase. I'll probably sell my Neca Godzilla off somewhere online now that I have this one, and I do have the King Ghidorah from Hiya coming later in the year, so I'm really excited to get that one. I will be doing a video on it when I get it, so like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys in the next video.